I don't know. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Friday's episode of the Marketing Happy Hour.
Indeed it
Hope
is.
you're all happy here. I'm Dr. Christopher Vogelmann of Maximize Your Media, which is our digital agency that does a lot of work on Facebook, Pinterest, and other types of social media placements in terms of advertising, as well as social media posting, and of Life Beyond Practice, which is the coaching group that I run for doctors who want more free time, freedom, and funds by getting out of the office and starting another business. And with me is...
Who doesn't want that? Oh, hey, I'm John Paduchak.
You.
Paduchak.com, and Targeted Net Solutions is my digital agency. And yeah, we do a lot of social media posting and video marketing, all of that fun stuff.
Video. And...
Hey guys, what's up? This is Kam Jennings, aka Kam Fatz, coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com Digital Publishing. Thanks so much for having me on, you guys.
Consider yourself had.
Hey, so then we're over.
Yeah, so we were rolling around the idea of topics, as we usually do in our little chats. And so the one that came up this time was something to do with price wars, really. The race to the bottom, the race that you do not want to win.
Right.
And so, yeah. And so it's always a delicate balance between value and delivery and still making your products and programs accessible and services accessible to people, with price not being an object. But what we have talked about in the past and what we see sometimes is this downward price spiral. And I do apologize if the local hound dog is going at it a couple hours ahead of schedule today. So if that sound of the dog bothers you, try the hair of the dog instead. So let's talk about price. High ticket, medium ticket, low ticket, no ticket.
No ticket.
Yeah.
Well, there's freebies. You do give freebies away sometimes to encourage people to get on your list.
Sure.
Right, Cam? John?
Sure.
What you got, John? You want to start, man?
Start, John.
I don't know where to start with this one. We were just talking about this today because we were laying out some pricing for a new product line that we're putting together for a course and curriculum and coaching and stuff. And I think it's important for people to see, first and foremost, that you have something up at the top, because it immediately shows that your lower stuff is more valuable.
Yep.
And you'd be lucky to get into that. So, a lot of people don't really think that way. They think that, I got to start out with something really, really expensive. I'm just getting started. And you got something big in you that nobody else knows. So,
how dare you have a high ticket item?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Some people may raise that. But you do. This comes into the whole differentiation thing too, because in order to justify higher prices, there's a certain way of differentiating yourself from others so that you don't become a commodity. And commodities, they just race down to the bottom. Look at things at Costco and other places where they have the no-name brands sell for a lot cheaper.
My favorite saying, price is only an issue in the absence of value.
Ooh.
It's a big one, huh? Yeah.
Did you get that yourself?
I don't remember where I got that from.
Quote somebody first, and then you just quote that. You quote them, and by the third time you use it, it bemes, you say something like, "Well, I don't remember who said it," and then after that, it just becomes yours. That's
one of my personal favorites, and it's so true.
Yeah.
Unless you get an absence of value, price is really not.
It's funny if you follow the trends with pricing. If we talk to old timers, some of the old timers that were doing, digital publishing, publishing ebooks, video courses 15 years ago, and I have, and it's like, hey, it was nothing for me to sell an ebook for $47, $97 even, 15 years ago, and it's cool. And now it's tough to sell them for like $7 to $10 if it's just like an ebook or a special report.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a trend, like what Doc said. There's definitely a race to the bottom, so to speak, if you go over the years. So the question becomes, how do you maintain your price point without going to the bottom? And one thing John mentioned was making your products proprietary, right, and not commodities, right?
Yep.
So how can people make their stuff proprietary and not a commodity, so that even if someone else put out a course about the exact same thing.
Right.
Why is yours different? What is different about yours? Is it the information? Maybe. Is it the way you presented it? Maybe.
It could be a particular method. And sometimes it's just how you market it. Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Todd Brown, he created the E5 method.
Yep.
And somebody else has such and such a system. And if you have the big idea in marketing is to create something that differentiates you because you've created your own category, if possible.
Yep.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, and I think the trick is to do that, be proprietary, but
Right.
still like relate to people on a level of I have what you need, because
Right.
people have an idea in their mind of what they need. They think, oh man, if I could just build a list, that would solve all my problems. Usually, it's like one or two things that people feel like they need
To solve their problem.
that's messing them up, right?
Yeah.
Right.
They need one or two things. Usually, it's one thing they feel like that they're missing. So how do I take my proprietary product and fit that into the thing that they need, but also stay proprietary? Because usually the thing they need is being provided by like 80 different people. So that is a tricky subject, but I think there's definitely a way to do it. And it comes back to what Doc said with your marketing. So
When you position yourself not just as an expert, because that's kind of nebulous sometimes, but you can easily position yourself as a trusted guide through this jungle of the interwebs and internet marketing.
I think the other way to distinguish yourself a lot of times too is in your done for you and done with you type of stuff.
Yeah, the over the shoulder stuff too, where you watch somebody do it and you kind of model them.
Right.
And the branding's important. I mean, the brand, especially if you're doing DFY, if you're doing like done for you stuff, then it's very much a commodity at this point. If we're talking about like material that people buy and then they can reuse, like done for you materials.
I guess I was thinking more in terms of the branding. Like if you create a new brand for somebody and logo and everything, it's not going to be necessarily a commodity. Although, well, there are different sites that do have that sort of race to the bottom thing. I can do a logo for 99. I can do it for 47. But a complete branding package would be something that's very different.
Yeah. I mean,
it depends on if you're doing the same package for a bunch of if you're doing the exact same package for like 10 different people and they just got different logos, then it's still good. It's still good, but I mean, it's
but you can also have frameworks. I mean, I know people who create things in ClickFunnels or Groove Pages or other types of things, landing pages, and those are basically the same thing, except they're swapping out some of the words and the videos and other types of logos.
And they're fairly high ticket type items typically.
Yeah.
It just depends. I mean, like the more you are like someone else, it's just funny because like we're talking about frameworks now, and this is a subject of scalability. Like how much can I scale this situation to where instead of making $1,000 a month, I'm making 50,000 a month. I need to be able to scale my situation. Maybe if I have one successful affiliate site, I can create 50 successful affiliate sites. They're all pretty much the same. They have the same framework. So now I'm scaling something, and you got to be careful. It's a framework, and you can brand it, and that really helps with making it proprietary. But people pick up on patterns. They see the patterns. So it's a weird thing. I mean, branding is important and it's key, but you can still fall into commodity if you start trying to scale and fall in love with frameworks too much and try to scale them too much. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm rambling. Sorry, guys.
No. That's actually pretty straightforward. Yeah, I think it's a question of changing the flavor within the framework.
Yeah.
There's too many F's. I'm all effed up.
Yeah, if you love it, right?
Yeah.
Do you love it? Do you love the subject of e-bikes, right? Or are you just trying to like chase the bag? If you're chasing the bag and you don't love what you're doing, you're going to be more apt to just cookie cutter it all the way around and scale the whole thing. It's all going to look the same, and it's not going to have any soul, man. And that's I think that's where people run into trouble with that. So.
So when it comes to doing the pricing, it's very interesting because there seems to be a bit of price elasticity. There's a lot of flexibility in pricing since, say, April or so, March, April. And because I've seen a lot of people take their $2,000 programs and cut them basically 50% into $997 programs. I've seen others even take $2,000 programs and they're under $500 now. And some of the sweet spots, John and I were talking about this several weeks back, which was that I've seen people who did these $97 to $200 courses who then lowered things to create maybe smaller versions of those courses. And they found that the sweet spot was between 27 and 37. So for what would sell quickly, say back in May, June. So anyway, I think that varies depending on what the news is and how many people are back to work.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly more of a reason to do that right now, in the sense that you'd like to be able to get, everybody's at home right now. I mean, a lot of people are still at home, I should say. And so there's a great incentive to get your product in the hands of others. So I certainly can understand trying to make it more accessible in that regard. Doesn't mean you necessarily change your pricing and cost structure on everything, but maybe a couple things to
I mean, you could have a few low-end products that allow people to get a taste of what you offer.
It's a chess match. I mean, you know, marketers see it. You know, it's like it feels like a chess match. You're always gauging the perception of value when it comes to the market, and you look around and see what's happening with the market, and you kind of guess what's happening with the market based on, you know, tools, analytics that you have, and also based on what's happening in the world. And right now, you know, we're all guessing a little bit because nobody knows what the hell is really going to happen. I thought the whole COVID-19 thing was going to go away in the summer. I thought it was going to go away in the summer, come back in the fall, and it hasn't done that. It's just kept right on marching along. You know, I dropped my Insiders Club down to, you know, $10.80 a month, from $47 down to $10.80 a month.
Well, there's a great example, but you really have not done necessarily a race to the bottom. You've actually tried to encourage people to maintain providing value and to maintain that relationship with you.
Yeah, right? It's calculated. But it's definitely happening. I mean, I think that's a really good observation, Doc. It's definitely happening. People are cutting their stuff in half because they don't know what's going to happen. It's uncertainty. They're talking about like government stimulus packages and stuff, and I think that kind of freaks people out a little bit. It depends.
I mean, one of the things, so when this thing first came out, my first prediction was February to March of 2021. And only because, you know, once you've studied a lot of physiology and psychology and epidemiology and economics, and having been a reformed day trader, I can tell you that this type of thing, my sense was it was going to have a huge ripple effect. And particularly when we stopped being able to get groceries very easily, I thought, oh, this is not going to go easy.
Yeah, and that's still not great yet. You know, it first happened, I was predicting April. And I just heard that the some of the vaccine trials coming out are doing well, but they're predicting the first we may see of them being available is April next year.
Yeah, well, so I figure my February, March wasn't too off. I was off maybe by a month.
You guys were so more realistic than me. You guys were so much more realistic than I was.
But mind you, I am the eternal optimist. In fact, Rich Sheffrin will tell you that I'm way too optimistic.
I am too.
And so this actually made me think that maybe I have converted into a realistic optimist.
Me too.
I just was wanting something that was not didn't make sense, you know.
We all want it desperately because we as marketers act emotionally too. I mean, think of all the products that you've purchased, regardless if they were high priced, medium priced, or low priced, that you thought, oh, this is the holy grail. This is going to take me to marketing nirvana. And if I just push this, not talking about button pushing, but if I just download this thing and start to put it to work, my problems will all be solved. And in the meantime, 2 years later, it's still gathering dust on your hard drive.
Right. So
go ahead, John. Sorry, man.
I was just gonna say. So I mean, if you're thinking February, March, April, it's definitely something that's going to make you be more empathetic to others in the same situation, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, the only positive thing I would say that's happened of all this stupidness is that there's so many new people coming online trying to figure stuff out because of their jobs, things looking so iffy. But all those people are low ticket buyers. Most of those people are low ticket buyers right now, for the most part. They're not interested in spending lots of money. They're worried. They're looking for something like low ticket, and there's a lot of low ticket stuff out there for them to buy. So, I mean, it's a good time to put out low ticket products with fully realized sales funnels.
Well, so John and I have been working on a project too, and that's one of the things we're looking at, more of a lower ticket type of thing, with the understanding that with an initial launch, a beta launch or base launch, whatever you want to call it, that we can come back a month or two later and then go into something that's a little higher priced, but more high touch and delivers more value.
Yeah. Or you can upgrade a little bit to deliver more information in it.
Right.
Yeah,
and almost like delivering hot seats, for example. That's just a great way to deliver more value.
True. Mm-hmm. You could even put like the upgraded version in the funnel, and get some of those initial buyers on the low ticket, but or follow up with the sequence like after they buy, like maybe a 2-week sequence or something. Mm-hmm. What are your price ranges right now? What are you thinking though? What, like when you're talking about low ticket, what do you mean?
I think for us, I can't speak for John. What do you think is low ticket, John?
Yeah, everybody's different.
I think when we were talking about it, we were talking about like 47-ish.
Yeah.
Low ticket, 37, 47 with a lot of value in it.
Yeah, see, I was in the 27 to 37. So you see, we both have two different definitions. We both have different definitions of what low ticket is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. I can go anywhere in that realm and still feel good about it.
How about 27.45? Yeah. You comfortable with that?
I got like a different range for low ticket too. And for me, like low ticket is anything under $20, like under 20. Right. And I don't say that based on anything but what I see for conversion rates, right? When I see conversion rates at a certain level for stuff under $20, it drops off over $20. So I know we've moved to a different bracket of people who feel like comfortable just like taking a shot on something over $20.
Right.
Between 20 and anything between 20 and 100, that's a different like group of people that's willing to take that shot. You can convert some of those other people, but it's got to be a little bit different on the sales page. They need to know, you know what I mean? It needs to be
a bit of a filter.
I'm sorry, filter.
I was gonna say I also like it to be a bit of a filter.
Yeah,
because at the same time, there tends to be more issues with people who want to try to return things and be a hassle in the lower ranges.
Well, a good refund policy will take care of that for you.
Yeah.
If you say something like, if your refund policy is just no refunds, as long as that's on the sales page, very clearly displayed.
And I recently purchased something with a no refund policy.
It just needs to be transparent, and you need to be real about it, and or even a policy that would be like, try this product for 30 days. If you don't get results as taught, contact me for a full refund. So that basically is going to require them to have the product for a 30-day period before they become eligible for a refund, which will protect you during a launch. It'll protect your refund rates during the launch period. So,
well, a lot of times people forget about the refund option, or they remember 90 days later. They remember a year later.
True. I had a guy contact me about bonuses for an affiliate campaign I ran, and it's been like a month ago that happened, and he just now contacted me. And it's funny because like he contacted me about it off of an email that I wrote, where the email saying, "Hey, I'm going to pull these bonuses in 3 hours. This is the last email." It's like, bro, did you not read the email? It says I pulled these bonuses 3 weeks ago.
Probably not.
When did you buy this thing, man? So I don't know. People are weird. They don't always read things, but I mean, like, you can protect yourself with a good refund policy on the sales page.
I think, you talk about refund policies. One of the things that comes to mind is that I've seen a couple of these programs where they'll give you the refund even like 90 days or something, but only if you show your work. It's like elementary school or something. Like if you show you've made the effort, then we'll consider giving you a refund. And I think that's a little, I don't know, that's a little smarmy to me.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I mean,
I understand. Yeah, I do understand.
They're protecting themselves from the what's in the box crowd, the crowd that just wants to see what's in the box.
Yeah,
they don't want to apply it. They don't want to take action with it. They just want to see what's in there, and then they just want a refund. The problem is, have you ever went to a movie theater and said, "Man, I hated that movie. I want my money back"?
I have not done that, but I have family members who've done it and gotten their money back.
That's
Well,
crazy. I mean, I've never
because they left within the first 15, 20 minutes of the movie saying this is just horrible.
when you buy a digital product, I mean, there's no leaving in the first 15 minutes. You buy it, you've got it. You've got it. You've gotten the information that was in there, especially information products. I think this is different for software, but for information products, whether it's a video course or an ebook or whatever, I mean, once you buy it, you've got it. You got it. You know what's in there. You know the tactics. You know the strategies. And now you asking for a refund. Well, I mean, it's not fair. It's not fair to the product vendor. Not really. I mean, that's why Walmart and Best Buy and maybe Target too, but they don't give refunds on CDs. They don't give refunds on DVDs, and they don't give refunds on books, physical books, which blew me away.
They will give you the refunds on the CDs and the DVDs, but they have to still be sealed in the original packaging.
Well, yeah, exactly, because they know, Doc. They know what you're going to do. You're going to
why are you accusing me of piracy?
They're and you know, look, when we talk about Walmart, they have one of the most fair, laxed refund policies ever. They're so nice there. If you have any problems, but they're not into getting ripped off. And if all you have to do is, you know, get the CD, go home, burn it on your computer, and then take it back there, it's like they're a store, not a library. You know? So I think
I have taken back certain things that were like a third used or so. That's never an issue. Like if you have a particular spray or a soap or something that I'm allergic to, the last thing they want is a medical lawsuit on their hands.
Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think there's always going to be a percentage of opportunists, no matter how great your product is. There's always going to be some opportunists, and I don't hate those opportunists. I mean, it's a good virtue to be an opportunist, I think. But at the same time, as a product vendor, as someone who's selling products on the internet, you have to kind of be in the business of risk management. So you have to kind of like anticipate opportunists, and how do you handle that, you know?
But as prices go down, as we've done, maybe we're not in a race to the bottom, but maybe we've just kind of like, you know, gone halfway down the hill. Are you increasing your risk by going into lower ticket items?
Absolutely. It's like what John said. The lower you go, the lower the ticket. There's more people. There's more opportunists. Absolutely. There's more people who are going to just want to get in there and see what's in there, because the lower you go, the more people you've reached. You're underneath their pain threshold for spending. You know, if I sell something for $10, almost anybody will take a shot on $10. I mean,
but not $10.80. So.
A lot of people will, but it's funny. It's funny. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people take a shot at that range. So the pain threshold is you're reaching a greater audience of people who don't feel that. Now, if you're charging $47 a month, it's a different pain threshold. They got to be getting a stacked value that's worth more to them than the $47 a month. They will notice it.
And your target prospect makes a big difference. So for example, you know, if I'm targeting CPAs or attorneys, I don't think a $47 product's going to phase them one way or the other. But if I've got somebody who worked as a greeter at Walmart and now has been furloughed, I don't know that $47 a month is going to be even within the realm of their expectations.
No, they need like the $5 or $10 a month thing. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a really good point, man.
So, let's see, where do we go with price now? So I guess, you know, we talked about commodities. We talked about the last thing that you really want to be is another Me Too commodity. What would the solutions be for you? You know, granted, we're in unusual circumstances, but what are the things that you might try to tweak to raise prices? Would it just be within a funnel and within the nurturing phase of your email list?
You want to go, John?
Yeah. You know, I was going to say the one thing I've been seeing people use more recently for their high ticket stuff is payment plans.
Yeah, I've seen a lot more of those. Yes,
payment plans all of a sudden.
Yes,
and you know that's one way to still get what your product's worth, and give people a bit of a break, because you're allowing
but with the hope that they're going to continue with that payment plan and not drop off.
Well, if they don't, you know, they may lose.
They're cut out of the deal. Yeah. So when it comes, here's an interesting thing too. I had a question for you. When it comes to payment plans, how much higher do you go to create enough pain for somebody to give you a full pay? Is it 30%, 20% above, or what do you think is a good percentage above?
John, you want to go on that
to
one?
get full pay people? Silence is not golden because we're not going to get any gold.
I don't know, because a lot of times I don't go above. Like, I'll just give them a 2 pay for the same essential deal. But it really depends.
I'm gonna take my minimum, right?
Yeah.
If I have what my thing is worth, right? What I want. Let's say I got something. I used to have this thing called ECIM Jumpstart, right? A few years back. It was a digital coaching package. It was $19.97,
right?
Like $1,997 for the package, right? So I had it, and that's what I wanted to charge for it. But then I have 2 price points, right? I have what I want to charge for it, and then I have a minimum viable price.
Yeah.
Right. Minimum. I won't go below this. It's way too good of a deal, but I will do it on occasion at this price.
Right.
So whatever that is, whatever that minimum viable price is, I can set my payments around that. Like with that particular club, my minimum viable price on it was what I was willing to do was $297. Right. I was willing to take it down.
That is so much lower than I thought. I thought you were going to say like $597 or $697.
Yeah, or $497 or $497. Yeah. Well, I ran a couple sales, right, where I took it down to $497 for 3 days.
Yeah.
But then I did one sale where I took it down to $197 for I took it down to $197 or $297. I took it down to $297 for 24 hours.
Was
$297 for 24 hour sale.
Was that the? I'm sorry, I forgot about the 4th of July sale.
No, that wasn't that. I don't know what it was, but it was something like that. Some kind of holiday thing where it was just a 24-hour situation. It might have been a New Year's. Oh, you know what I think it was? I think it was a New Year's Day sale because like everyone's got New Year's resolutions. Like the New Year is a really good time to like do a 24-hour sale and get a lot of people on board because it's man, people got New Year's resolution. They're trying to make things happen. Yeah. So I took it down to like $297, right? So okay, so if I'm going to take it down to $297, and I know that's my minimum viable price on that product, I can do 3 payments of $297, 3 payments, and I'll still be far under my actual price point that I want.
Right.
But I'll be 3 times over my minimum viable price point. Right. And if they only make 1 payment, I still win, bro, because guess what? That's my minimum viable price point. They're going to make at least 1 payment at my minimum viable price point. So that's how I would do the payment plans. That's how I've done them in the past. And that works really good because you can't lose that way.
Yeah,
that's great.
Unless you're in love with your actual price and you will not budge on that actual price and you won't go below it. And I'm not like that, man. I mean, I'll try all kinds of different little things and see what works the best. So
yeah,
some people are in love with their price though, and that they have no intention of, moving it around. And I'm just not like that.
Like Apple. They're in love with their prices.
They are, man. They really are.
The best I've ever seen is a 3% discount, so it's just
I'll tell you a couple sweet spots though that I've had good luck at. So the $97 product. Now I consider this a mid-ticket product.
Yeah.
But there's many people who will go for a $97 product, especially if you've got value in that thing. You've stacked value in it, like a $397 product or a $497 or a $597 situation. But you're going to 97 on it. It is a sweet spot that many people will take you up on, no matter what their income situation is.
It's funny you mentioned that price point because, and we talked about ebooks earlier. I actually did buy a $97 ebook about 5 years ago. Just the ebook, and it was very valuable.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see the sales page on that and to see like kind of what they did and stuff like that. I'm very interested in stuff like that.
I'll tell you once we finish.
Cool. Today. I love it. But yeah, man, this is cool. The other thing I would say, guys, when it comes to rat races to the bottom on prices, if you want
no one mentioned rats in the description of this show.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
The other thing I would mention is like value stacking, because we just talked about that a little bit, but just this idea of, if I'm selling a course on email marketing, and I know there's a lot of competition out there for a course on this kind of subject.
Yeah.
then I want to like stack some extra value in there. And I don't mean just like, all right, let me just like dump a bunch of extra crap in there.
Right.
I mean, like everything strategically makes sense. Like, for instance, like if I do a course on email marketing and I say, oh, also when you buy this, we're going to do 4 group coaching calls for everyone who picked this up. Like that's like stacking value. Now you're getting like free coaching with the thing. So it's,
or you could
have like that.
You could add a course to it, you know, how to use Instagram to expand your email list,
or a special group,
yeah, something like that.
That value stacking is a big deal.
Or all of those things.
Yeah. What was that?
Or you could add all of those things.
Yeah, add all. I've seen some people go overdo the bonuses to the point where you wonder if even these bonuses are legit or not. If you see a product out there that has 14 or 17 bonuses, I shy away from that because I'm thinking that stuff must be just the most overused PLR that they just put, you know, they put a little lipstick on that pig and threw it in there as part of the bonuses.
They're stupid, man. They're stupid. They're not strategic. They're not strategic about it. Like they think, oh, bonus stacking. And then like, man, clearly I'm going to get the sale if I just like throw a bunch of bonuses at people. Like that's ridiculous. Like if I'm running a 4-day campaign, okay, and instead of like puking 17 extra courses on them, what I'll do is instead, okay, I'm launching the 1 day, and then over the course of the next 3 days, I'll add 1 extra bonus on the second day of the launch, another bonus on the next day, and then it'll be like an event. Like every day, something new's happening, and now that'll give you time to really like focus on that new thing you just added and how cool it is, and what it can do, and how it matters for the product, and this is why you put it in there, and just those 3 or however many. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I'm sorry. I interrupted you, but I was just thinking, you know, that the just new bonus added email has worked on me so well so many times. But don't you go sending me those emails now, because
listen. Delayed bonus stacking. I'll take 3 bonuses, stack like with a delayed stack over just like throwing them all in there at once. It's overwhelmed, dude. You can't pay attention to all that crap. You're just looking at the front end product and seeing if it can solve your problem. And most people aren't even going to crack those bonuses open. But like,
no, it's like the Jenga of marketing. I mean, the whole thing is unstable. It's bound to fall down.
I love that, man. The Jenga of marketing. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but if you kind of stagger them and you delay stack the bonuses, and you know, just focus strategically on what those bonuses are. That really does make a difference, man. There's some big dumb animals out there, man. I mean, I myself have been a big dumb animal before. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a big dumb animal, but I mean, some people take it to another level, man. They take it to another level. It's like, what are you doing for real?
I did see an offer not too long ago. Actually, probably about 3-4 months ago, before the COVID thing became a big thing, and they did have 23 bonuses, and I just did this and walked away. Because I was just like, I just gave the sign of the cross and like, protect me from this marketer, please.
No one's gonna open that crap.
I'd rather see one really good bonus that adds to the value of the product.
I think when people are doing affiliate marketing, that's how they differentiate themselves always, isn't it right, Cam? You know, by adding the types of bonuses that'll choose them over somebody else, because an affiliate product is a commodity because you're all marketing the same thing.
Yeah.
You're right. And that's a really great point. Again, we talk about proprietary, right? We can talk about proprietary when it comes to bonuses too. I know a bonus, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I know a bonus that's really worked well for me is, so I'll be doing an affiliate campaign, right? And I'll do like 4 days of an affiliate campaign. I'll send out 2 emails a day, one early in the morning and then one in the afternoon. And what I'll do is I'll say, hey, listen, man, I'm going to give you guys all PLR rights on this affiliate campaign. You guys are going to get, licensed to use all my emails. So that way, if you like this product as much as I do, you can promote it and you don't even have to do any work for it. Here's the campaign. That not only is a really unique bonus that no one else can give them, it's proprietary, but also it takes a lot of the work out for them. And it also gives me like free reign to send as many emails as I want, because every email I send, they're like, holy shit, look at all these cool emails. Well, sorry, guys.
It takes the work out of you creating another product, because you've already done it in the first place.
Hey, listen, I do that again and again in my business. I'm always looking for ways to double dip, triple dip on the work that I put in, man. I don't just want to like put in 8 hours of work and get 8 hours of payback. I want to put in 8 hours of work and get like 32 hours of payback. If that makes sense. That's kind of a weird analogy, but
no, I mean, double dipping in a marketing program is fine. It's just, in the days of the pandemic, double dipping into the bean dip is not a good idea.
No, it's not. You know where I learned that about? I'll tell you where I learned about this whole idea of like getting more out of what I'm doing. Is from credit card companies. I got it from credit card companies. I started studying credit card companies, and I saw that, like, I forget the exact numbers, but it was like over like, I think it was like 500 billion a year the credit card industry earns from customers' interest rates, right? Just their interest rates on the customer, and that's for they're buying a line of credit. They're just so they got a line of credit. That's one product, a line of credit. And what happened was they pretty much doubled the revenue all at once just by one day deciding, hey, you know what we should do? We should charge like a merchant transaction fee on every one of these. So we're gonna charge the customer for the right to use the credit line, and then we're gonna charge the merchant for the right to accept the credit line. And like, genius, man, just like that, they just double dipped on the exact same product and like doubled the revenue. That became like their second largest revenue stream. So quickly.
Well, your triple dip is the cash back from one of those cards, like Discover started that whole thing.
Yes. Yeah.
See, so it will take a higher percentage from the merchant, give you back the customer a little bit of that, but we're still going to make money on both sides of the equation.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating how many streams of revenue they've created off of one product.
Here's this is our tangent for the day, I guess. We haven't gone completely off the rails, despite Troy usually talking about. So we're talking about price. I had a friend who is another chiropractor in DC, and while he was waiting for his license to be approved and all, he got a job with a credit card company located in Richmond, Virginia, whose initials are CO. So anyway, so it was Capital One. The Capital One he worked in this department, and he discovered, not in the Discover card, but he discovered for himself that Capital One made more money on over limit fees and late fees than they ever did on interest. I'm talking like two or three times that.
Holy cow.
So predatory lending is an interesting way of doing things, which is they're hoping if they give away credit cards to enough people who don't really have the means to sustain a credit card, that they're going to make a ton of cash on late fees and over limit fees.
Yeah, they're like evil geniuses, man. I should have mentioned that. That was a disclaimer. Okay,
they're going to make $1 million. So
these credit card. A little Austin Powers reference there for everybody.
Exactly. Dr. Evil in the house.
They're evil, man. They are evil. They really are evil, but they are geniuses too. I mean, they're really smart, but I think you definitely got to take it with some ethics. I mean, I wouldn't do it like they do it. That's for sure. Yeah. But I mean, I do think it's a good lesson. I mean, if you can find a way to like for instance, like if someone is out there right now and they're like, yeah, man, I want to do a blog on, skateboards, man, because I'm really into skateboarding. Right. So they start doing a blog on skateboarding. It's like, oh, all right, cool. I got some Google AdSense up here, and I'm trying to get traffic to my blog, and I got I got this affiliate marketing link to this skateboard website that sells skateboards and stuff like that. And I'm going to commit to putting out an article every week on skateboarding. All right, well, what's to stop this guy from saying, hey, you know what? Why don't I start a membership program where like I'll just license my articles to people. I'll just charge them, $10 a month or $15 a month for the right to be able to use my articles in other places wherever they want to use them. So that way, they can do affiliate marketing on skateboards too. And that's a double dip.
The Google spiders aren't going to like the duplicate content everywhere, though. So
no, nobody says
that's the downside to it.
Well, they could use it anywhere, though. They could use it in ebooks. They could use it in a lot of different ways, and a lot of people get their traffic from different ways besides just organic Google. Man, if you're going to organic Google get your traffic in 2020, then you're fighting an uphill battle. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Not to hate on people who do organic Google traffic, but that's a rough way to go, man. Especially when they change their algorithms all the time. And
yeah, I think certain things. I mean, backlinks still work and quality and all these other things. But we're getting off topic now. So back to pricing because you want to make money. I was just thinking, you're talking about the skateboard guy. I was thinking merch. You come up with a good logo, a cool thing. You can sell merchandise in the physical product world. And I think there's enough out there to be able to print on demand, for example.
True. Very true.
So when you're pricing your program, I guess, it's like we have good old day pricing, pre-COVID and post-COVID pricing at this point. How low is too low?
I mean, that's different for everybody.
Outside of free, where are the sweet spots now?
What do you think, John? I've been yapping forever. I've been yapping on and on and on.
You got good yapping, though. I like the yapping.
My mileage may vary compared to others.
So what's been your experience, though?
My market's kind of unique.
Because you do a lot of local.
I do some local.
Yeah.
We're starting to do funny. Cam should say it's starting to do some SEO type stuff.
Yeah.
And stuff around video. Also have a little bit of a foothold in the self-improvement niche. I don't know. I mean, I can see all kinds of cases for all different prices. It's really hard for me to point out.
I know that for a lot of people, the popular thing has been the book funnel, of course, where you're sending the book is free. You just spent $7 or $9.95 for shipping, and we'll send it to you.
Extremely popular. And I also know people who said, I'd like to set up a membership site, charge like $1 for it. And I've watched people do that.
Have they had success with that?
I have buyers. Yeah. I have buyers. I got people into it. You see a lot of people do that in the podcast arena.
Yeah.
They're just like small list type things just to boot out the freebie seekers and have a very base list of buyers.
Right.
I've seen stuff all over the place. So, I mean,
you can always do a tier 2 on your membership too. I mean, you can always go you got the $2 or the $1 tier 1, and then you got the $10 or $15 tier 2. So there's a lot there. I mean, my membership program, like I got like a tier 1. It's like $10.80 a month. I told you guys about a million times, like a broken record or something. But like,
do we receive a broken record if we pay now?
What about the 80 cents? Is that a deal breaker?
Was that because your resolution was 1080 instead of 720, or what?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, man, you cats make me lose my train of thought all the time.
I'm
man.
sorry. So we did derail. We successfully derailed Cam on this.
We did a lot of practice, and we're very good at what we do.
Like, okay, so like here's the tier 1, right? So like a tier 1, 3 pillars of value, right? But tier 1 has a 3-month content cycle. Okay, so I have 3 pillars of value, but when a new month of value comes out, new stuff is added to each of those pillars, right? But the oldest month of stuff drops off. So it's kind of like when you have Netflix and like things expire. You ever see things expire on Netflix and you're like, oh man, really? I gotta watch that. It's getting ready to expire.
Makes me so mad.
Yeah. So that's tier 1, right? So then I got a tier 2. Now this is my practice. It's probably not the best practice. My tier 2 is only like $2 more. But for $2 more, they can get ECIC Plus, and that basically eliminates the content cycle. Everything just stays there for them.
You get the archive.
You get the archive.
The vault, whatever.
Like ideally, you would probably take it up a lot more. Not a lot more, but I'd at least double it. If they're paying 10 a month, then you could go 20 a month easy for the upgrade. I just go 2 extra for that, but whatever.
You're just way too nice is the problem.
Sorry, John. What'd you say, man?
I hate it when people delete things on me.
I don't like it either, man.
I could press the button right now and stop this, Brian.
I'm a collector, man. I just want because I'm not checking every month, man.
I might forget. I miss things.
I actually subscribe to a blog that tells you what's about to expire on Netflix and what's coming up on Netflix.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's 2 reasons why I created that tier 2, and I'll tell you, one is because of Netflix, just like we were talking about. Like I see the expiring, and I'm like, oh man, I don't got time to watch that, but I got to see it before it expires. And then also, I had people keeping on reaching out to me, like, hey man, I didn't get like this content from 4 months ago, man. Is there any way you could get that to me? I didn't get a login.
$2.
So that's why I created the extra.
$2.
I got tired of looking it up. Did we solve anything today, guys?
I think I think we basically solved the thing by just saying that everything depends. It depends on who your market is. It depends on the external circumstances. It depends on economics. It depends on you differentiating yourself. It depends on you. It really does depend on you and what you're
You ask, is there a price point that you won't drop below? That's what you were asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on that, I would say absolutely, because here's the thing. If I got a $10 product, that's really cheap. Right. I'm not launching a $10 product without a funnel, okay? I need a product in there that's like 27, 47, 97. Like ideally, I would like at least 300, a possible $300 purchase within that product funnel. If I can't launch a product for $297, then I would like a funnel that can cover up to $297 or around $300 with the launch. But that's me personally. I think it depends on what your goal is to make a year. And I think it just depends on how many products you plan on releasing a year and what you got going on.
Well, and your cost per lead too, because I mean, I know in some markets that I'm looking at right now, it's a sub niche of a niche or sub niche of a niche. And the cost per lead is about, I want to say it's around $160, $165 per lead. But the back end, the lifetime customer value is easily $6K.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
So that's where you kind of figure out. And I remember seeing somebody not too long ago who's saying something similar, which was they were, paying $90 per lead, but they were putting people into programs where they could make 10K, 8K, 8K, 10K. Mm-hmm. So, and they were the opposite idea, which was they were happy paying higher amounts for those leads because it meant that other people weren't able to afford them.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. So I think, your cost factors are probably part of your pricing structure. But I mean, for me, I mean, I'm actually okay if I've got somebody, the dollar trial is usually a great thing, even if it's only for 7 days, because you've got their credit card information, and a buyer is a buyer. They may not always buy. They may not buy this month. They may buy in 3 months or 6 months or 3 years. I've actually purchased things from people. It's taken me 3 years to work to the point where I'm actually willing to press buy.
I think, that's a great one. We didn't mention that, John, was Doc's talking about the 7-day trial. Man, that's a fantastic way to stop the rat race in its tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Not just that, but you'll have people like me who forget that the 7 days are up and I had no intention of continuing.
Yeah. They'll just forget, and you'll get them for the month. Not that it's like an evil intention to get them for the month, but
it's clearly stated that this is a 7-day trial.
It's a 7-day trial,
7-day trial, and the 7-day trial, at the very least, let's say they do cancel, they're still on your email list, and they probably have not unsubscribed.
Right. There's been a lot more trials. You've definitely seen a lot more trials.
I that has raised my. I know I don't run a 7-day trial right now, but I used to run for a long time. It was long standing, like over a year and a half. I ran a 7-day $1.99 trial, and it definitely boosted conversion rates a lot. So
79. So you see ClickFunnels, for example, has the 14-day trial, and everybody's doing the 14-day. I saw, though, a couple of people who are, I guess, these 2 Comma Club people or something. They somehow had finagled Russell Brunson to give them 30-day free trials for ClickFunnels. And that actually, I think, converted even better for them, because I've got a whole 30 days. 14 days, you think like, I'm never going to learn it. I'm never going to figure it out. I'm not going to be able to do it. The 30-day, I would imagine, did work well, unless maybe they found out the 14-day was better. I don't know.
What has he got to lose? 30 days with ClickFunnels? I mean, you're just now getting into it. After 30 days in ClickFunnels, you're just now... you're in there. I mean, you're in there. Everything's on that platform. So what are you going to do? You can't go anywhere.
30 days, you're pretty much in there.
Yeah, you're pretty much caught in that environment. So I'm just curious as to, in pricing what the trials, a 1 day, I actually did see a 48-hour trial not too long ago. That was a little crazy because you're not going to use something in 48 hours unless you have nothing else to do in your life.
Netflix does a 30-day trial.
Yeah.
Hulu does a 30-day free trial.
Yeah.
If it's good enough for those guys, I mean, it's good enough for me.
For YouTube Unlimited or Premium or whatever it is, that's a free trial, but then for 30 days, and then they charge you $15.99. So
Yeah.
That's a really good way to kind of combat that rat race. If everyone else is charging $15 for this style of product, you want to charge $30, but you got your proprietary content in there, and you got a little $1.99 free or $1.99 7-day trial. I mean that offsets it. So
I mean, this has just occurred to me during this program of thinking about initiating a trial myself. Because I've shied away from them. I was like, how does that work? How does that work? But it's a little piece of code and you're ready to roll.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's a good one. I like that. Might be my favorite one today.
The favorite one today. So we're almost at the top of the hour. Do we have any, we're almost at the top of the hour. Do we have any final thoughts? Unfinished thoughts? Thoughts about Troy that we care to share while he's not here?
No.
Where is that suspicious character today? Anyway?
I'm
not going to say what I said in the chat. So.
He's probably out camping, burning up a forest.
He's camping with an RV.
He's looking for Bigfoot.
He's looking for Bigfoot.
He's looking for Bigfoot.
Hey, one thing, it's funny as we're talking about this, the one thing that I was thinking about too is people who do upgrade fees as part of the whole pricing thing, because some of us, so some of us deal in timely information and some of us deal in timeless information.
Yeah.
So timeless stuff where it's evergreen, there's usually not upgrade fees in products because they're not updated as frequently. But more timely stuff tends to have more frequent upgrades, updates. And
software.
I work in more timely stuff, software. Video stuff is always changing because of the technology. So that's a new program every year. And so there's definitely, that's another thing that, we look at quite frequently as upgrade fees for stuff.
I've seen upgrades too for services.
Mm-hmm.
If you want this white glove service, you're going to pay a little extra for that white glove as opposed to my black glove or blue glove service.
Product updates, software.
Get my black glove service.
Your black glove service. It's an easy one to pass by.
I don't like the sound of any of that.
Oh boy,
the gloves are coming off now.
The gloves are coming off now. It's like bare knuckle pricing available only this week only for $1. We should just put together a pricing strategy for people, and just as an intro to a large marketing course.
Man, I'll tell you what, I would just say, for my final thought on this, I would just say, don't be afraid to experiment around with different price points. Don't be afraid of the low ticket. I mean, experiment around, but have your idea of what you want to make, minimum viable price that you want to make on something. And then if you're going to go really low ticket on something, then make sure you have a funnel that supports it so you can get to your minimum viable. I mean, you should at least have an option to make what you want to make.
Right.
So that's what I would say about it. Don't be afraid to experiment.
New Hampshire man.
He's pointing at me.
I'm having trouble with my fingers. That's why I pushed the wrong button today for this marketing.
I'm trying to collect my thoughts. My biggest thing as I go through and I think about pricing strategy is that so many people have good things that they don't want to charge, and they don't think to charge enough for. They don't think they can get what it's worth in the current market. And, it's got a lot of value. And that's why I always say price is only an issue in the absence of that value. But, don't, even in this market, if you have something that's really exciting, it's worth a lot, don't be afraid to charge what it's worth. But do feel like, do be giving. Because, it is a rough economy for a lot of people. There's a lot of people trying to learn things that maybe the money's not the only factor. You want to get new customers, get them on your list, get things moving along, have a new list of buyers. Just think out of the box a little bit. I think that would be my biggest piece of advice. Just be open-minded, think out of the box, really work through your marketing, and spend a lot of time really getting into the head of your ideal customer and how you can attract them. Who's that perfect customer for you, and what do they want? What do they want from you? What do you want from them? I think that's my final thought.
Okay, good. Well, for me, this is blue pill, red pill time because there is no box. And so, but the only reason I say that is because I do agree with you in terms of delivering value is very important. And nowadays what we see is if you just keep educating people and giving them basically your time, your wisdom, your wit, your half wit, whatever it may be, that there is, I'm not talking about you, John. I was talking about mine, half a wit. Half a wit is better than no wit. So, but if you just keep delivering the value and educating people, you can get people educated enough to see the value that you're bringing to the table. And eventually they will put money across the table and you'll be able to charge higher prices as we go through the months to come. So pricing is elastic, but at some point you can definitely charge without worrying about comparing yourself to other people.
Yes.
So, and then with that, we've reached the end of just today's broadcast. And so we will be back here next week at 1 p.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Hawaiian, because these people never change their clocks.
No, I know.
We'll come up with a new topic and tune in. I'm sure we'll have something lively and interesting, and we may even have a fourth person. Okay, talk to you later. Have a good weekend.
See you guys.
Okay.
Bye.